wait! Before we get into this action-packed morphin' time, please do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button right at the bottom.
Morphin'.
Go Power Rangers! Once and always is on Netflix right now. This, of course, Power Rangers is based on Japanese Super Sentai, and it blew up. Okay? I loved it then, and I gotta be honest with you guys, I loved it now.
Yeah, me too. There is, as a side note, a really, really good comic book, Power Rangers comic book, and it's more like grounded for like older people, and like it's much more realistic. Highly recommend that.
In this film, a lot of it was the campy stuff that you remember from when you was a kid, the crazy liners, the over kind of childish acting and stuff like that. Rita freaking Repulsa. Okay, she is back, but she is not like she was before, because unfortunately the actress that plays her, she did pass away of cancer.
The physical actress, she died. The voice actress, she's still alive, and she's in this movie.
And they have her in robot form.
Robo Rita.
In
this movie, 30 years, is it 30? Yeah, 30 years, since 1993. And the Power Rangers are still at it, you know? They're a little older, they're a little pudgier, but they still kicking ass. Rita, on the other hand, she's sick of these Rangers. She's like, you know what? I got a new trick. You know, that trick is called killing the motherfucker.
Break yourself, fool! Oh, it's Wayne Brady, son!
And that's what she said. That's what she gonna do. She like, my staff can kill now, and I'm about to kill me a Ranger. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. And so she takes out Billy. She's about to blast that dude away, but Trini steps in front. She gets hit and she dies. And one of the interesting things that I like about this movie is they make it canon that Trini lived to be 50. She lived a full life. She had a kid. She had friends and family, people she cared about. She got everything that the actual actress did not get a chance to have, because of course the actress died in a car crash in the 90s, and she never got to have that full life. But her character of Trini did. And I like that quite a bit. And for me, this kind of sets up what I think the movie really is all about. When I heard about the movie, I thought this was going to be like a reunion type movie. But it's really not. It's actually more about Trini. It's about Trini's memory and about Trini's legacy. And what do we do now that Trini's gone? How do we continue to be a team without a core member like the Yellow Ranger?
Her daughter, played by newcomer Charlie Karsh, I believe that's her name, Karsh?
I think her character's name is Ming, though, right?
Min.
You
know, the conversation that Billy and Zach is having right after this horrible thing happened, they're like, we have to tell her her mother is a Power Ranger and stuff like that, and her mother died fighting Rita Repulsa. I'm like, man, they actually trying to make somebody cry in a Power Ranger film.
They really are. I could feel myself being like, Evan, get your act together.
This is Power Rangers.
After Trini dies, Zach takes over as kind of a father figure for Trini's daughter. Yeah, as her guardian. I just loved that so much. It really reinforced that feeling that not only are the Power Rangers friends, right? They're family, you know. And he's not gonna let Trini's daughter grow up without anybody.
A year goes by and she is training. She wants to get that get back. She wants that revenge. And Zach is talking to her, saying that you cannot be overcome by revenge.
Not only that, Trini's daughter tries to morph out of revenge, and she can't do it.
It's morphin' time! Saber-tooth tiger!
They're like, you just cannot be a ranger. You physically are not allowed to morph. You physically cannot be a ranger if you're going to be fighting out of revenge. Now, to my knowledge, that was never canon in the Rangers, and I think that's a really interesting thing to add, that you can't just become a Power Ranger. You've got to be like worthy, you know?
Now, how Rita got here in the first place is because Billy was trying to feel the Force and get back Zordon, because Zordon sacrificed himself in the Zeo Rangers, but of course he wasn't there, and somehow Rita came out there and got into Alpha. And then we got Robo Rita. Min blames Billy. This movie's talking about some underlining things. It's talking about guilt. It's talking about how do you move on from a team member that has died. Because Billy's feeling like, yeah, maybe this is my fault.
Right.
You know,
it's not just that they're talking about these big themes. For me, it's how they're talking about it. And this is how we're going to dip into nostalgia a bit. This movie is just as corny and as low budget and trashy as the original Power Rangers, right? Okay. Except now it's in HD and we can very clearly see the zippers on the back of their outfits and stuff like that, you know? But to me, that kind of adds a level of charm, in my opinion, that it is kind of silly, kind of hokey. They're not trying to be anything more than what they are. They're like, we know that this is a cheap, low budget television show that you like. And you know what? We're not going to F with it. Here's the same actors. They haven't really brushed up on their acting skills in any time between then. So they're about the same.
Nice rotation on that kick. You still got it.
I never lost it. Time to move.
The civilians here are safe.
On to the next fight.
Here's very similar costumes, made almost exactly the same, almost the exact same stitching and everything. It looks just as silly as you remember. And to me, I think that's a sign of confidence. That it's like, I know that you like it, and we're not going to try to do anything more than this. Compare that to the Power Rangers remake that we had, where they tried to make it darker and cooler and edgier. And to me, that felt like a lack of confidence. Like they were afraid of looking cheesy. They're afraid of looking hokey. So the suits were overdone. They were way over designed. That is not the case here. They're like, I know that you like cotton suits with a diamond pattern. Here they are. Also with this film, they couldn't get a lot of the original Rangers back. Yeah. So the movie kind of just wrote them out. They're like, look, they've been captured by Rita. Okay, that's why they're not here. All right. And every time they morph off camera, and that's why you never see them without the helmet. So they kind of wrote around it so that the movie focuses more on Zach and more on Billy, which I liked because ironically, both Zach and Billy were a little sidelined in the original Power Rangers. It was mostly all about Tommy and Jason and Kimberly. So the two characters were sidelined. Now they're kind of up front. And we learned that Zach and Billy have not just sat still for the past 30 years. Zach has apparently been elected to freaking Congress, right? He's been a congressman this whole time, right? Yeah. And Billy has started a university, Cranston University. Compare that to episode 7 of Star Wars, where Han Solo is still doing the exact same thing in the exact same ship, wearing the exact same outfit, you know, for 40. It doesn't make any sense to me. You know what I mean? I like how these characters have lives.
Which is why Harrison Ford was like, thank God they killed me.
Kill me now.
They did bring back other Rangers that was in the Mighty Morphin field. They brought back Rocky, they brought back Cat. But Rita was trying to get the Power Ranger juice from them. And the reason why she did this is because she's trying to make a portal to basically say, what, I'm tired of these Power Rangers for 30 years messing up my plans. You know what? I'm gonna go back and tell my older self what to do.
This idea of Rita looking back in time to try and fix her mistakes is actually a little bit of a wink, nod to the comics. They also name-checked JJ, which is a character from the comics, and JJ is canonically Tommy's son. As a comic book nerd and a Power Rangers nerd, I enjoyed this film quite a lot. I am very, very well aware that this movie is pulling strongly on my nostalgia for the Power Rangers, and I have no clue what this movie would look like to someone who doesn't like the Power Rangers. I imagine it would look like they look terrible. I don't know.
It'll look terrible. It'll feel terrible.
Yeah, but it's not for them. This one's for the fans. Trini's daughter does eventually earn the right to become a Power Ranger. She felt like a worthy successor to Trini. I like this character. I like the situation. I like that she is now the new Yellow Ranger.
She's also learned to forgive Billy.
You're right.
They actually went into the past and started telling stories of things that actually happened. They said, she's the one who taught me out of my fear of heights. And I was like, I remember that episode. You know? And also when she fought like this stoplight turtle and stuff. I was like,
Shell
I remember
Shock.
that one.
I remember him too.
Shell Shock.
I had the Shell Shock toy.
Ah man, I was like, are they gonna tell the one the one about the frog? Oh, that's the one I wanted.
Which one was that one?
The frog that would eat them, and then every time he ate one of them, and he got like a little tattoo of each ranger on them. You remember that frog?
No.
I'm like, it was just a beautiful love letter to her, and a beautiful love letter to the fans.
When Trini's daughter becomes a ranger, one of the things I liked about her was that she was an outsider. So when she sees the Rangers, she sees the Rangers like we see the Rangers. And so she gets into the Megazord and she's like, how do you drive this thing?
So, how the heck do you drive this thing?
It's like, yeah, how do you drive this? And I think that's really funny. And Zach's doing, his little Zach dancing thing. And she's like, are you breakdancing, fighting, breakdancing? Like, that's so stupid.
We all thought that growing up, but it was it's him.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot see Hip Hop Keto or no dance fighting without seeing Zach.
But it's like I said, it shows some confidence in its characters. In the remake, they made sure that the black guy was not the Black Ranger. They made sure the Asian person was not the Yellow Ranger. You know what I mean? In this one, they're like, look, we know that you don't care. We don't care. Even Zach was like, Zach is back in black. I like that.
Zach is back in black. Why the fuck I get a gun? It's because I'm black.
And at the end of the movie, he's like, this is for Trina.
This is for Trini.
Oh man,
blew somebody away in Trini's honor.
This film hit all my nostalgia beads. They put a great story in this for 55 minutes.
Yeah.
That's wonderful to do.
Wonderful.
I'm gonna have to give this film an A.
I'm giving this one an A2. On its surface, is this film a bad film? Probably, because the sets are made out of cardboard. Our actors ain't exactly, the most classically trained actors. The suits look
Walter's
like
doing
garbage.
a great job, though. Walter's doing his thing.
They're doing what they can with what they have, right? But the direction's really bad. Usually it's just two characters just standing there talking to each other, right? Like people aren't doing anything in the scene. So it looks corny. It's acted corny. It's directed terribly. And somehow all of this combines to be incredible. I don't know why. It just did. I think a lot of that is because the story is good. The Power Rangers jump into a car and the car just takes off and flies into the sky, and there's no explanation for any of this. They're not like, let's hop into the flying car. It can fly because of XYZ. No, they just get in and the thing just flies off. So I think the level of confidence the show has, the story, and of course the heart, because there was a real world tragedy that this movie talked about quite a bit. I like how they made it canon that Trini died, but she died being a hero. She died after having lived a full life. I loved all that. I just wish they made it canon that Billy was gay. Now we know that his actor is gay, and his homosexuality was apparently a big issue on set. Apparently he got teased a lot. It got to the point where he straight up quit, That's just my little wish. But I also thought it was interesting, and we talked about this quite a bit off camera, that the two Rangers who had very public issues with being a Ranger at the time, the Black Ranger and the Blue Ranger, they both came back for this film. And hopefully we can get, if we move forward, we can get more of the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers to play along. That being said, though, I did not miss them, and I think that's a good thing.
I also thought it was really sweet. Of course, by the end of this film, they dedicated this film to Tui Twang and of course Jason David Frank, who passed.
He passed after this film was filmed.
I just really enjoyed this film. Do you recommend this film?
If you love Power Rangers and you were a fan of the Power Rangers as a kid, I highly recommend this film. You'll have a blast.
Yeah.
If you weren't a fan of the Power Rangers, I think this will be a big question mark for you. I'm actually kind of curious as to what you could possibly make of this film, if you could make heads or tails of what's going on here. But if you are a fan of the Power Rangers, even if you're just a passing fan, I think you'll really enjoy this.
I also recommend this film, especially if you are a fan of Power Rangers. And with that, what do you think about this film? All right, get in the comments and let us know what you thought of the Power Rangers once and always. Thank you for watching us go down memory lane. We really enjoy you coming here and clicking on us and seeing us just goof out on this film, all right? But if you are new to seeing us, please do us a favor. Hit that subscribe button right at the bottom because it will really help us out. Our numbers been going up. You're awesome. If you did like this rating and review for this film, please hit that thumbs up. It really does help out the channel. Or you get the thumbs down. Whichever you choose is your opinion. Just remember one thing. It's mostly wrong. Now go Power Rangers. Beep, 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 beep.